Hello, and I'm going to be walking you through my World War I trench. So at the beginning, this is the reserve trench. So this is where soldiers will come in and come out. They use this as a way to exit the trench and to get into the trench. So over here is the barbed wire. So they would use this as a defense if there were like other soldiers like from the opposite country or a different country and be able to protect themselves. This is elevated earth. It was used to protect soldiers from blast. So on the other trench, people would fire like grenades or cannons and it would land right behind them. It would explode, and with this, it would protect the soldiers. Back in the day, for lighting, they used lanterns, and so I put that all around the trench to give light. And one little thing, the boards, all the wood, it was actually used for a purpose. So what it was used for was, so right now it would be raining, and as it rained, it would go down and to the trench. Well, if soldiers stood in that, they would probably catch a disease or sickness, and it would take them out of the battle. So what they used was planks for the ground. And since it was raining, all the dirt became mud and starts going into the trench. So they put up planks to stop that. So this is basically like a firing area. So what you could do is climb up here and then look for the soldiers and shoot. And they would use this as a way to shoot the enemy team or the different country, the other army. And if they didn't want to get shot, they would just crouch. And as you can see, you cannot be seen. Barely. So over here is the fire bay. So this was basically quite a long area for soldiers to use. They would climb up here, and there would be quite a few people up here, and they would be firing at the other army. Over here is the support trench. This would be used for soldiers if they were injured. So what would happen is there would be doctors like over here, and they would help out with the soldiers and heal them, bandage them up, and send them out into battle once they're fully healed. And then over here basically is like a protection area, so they can the soldiers can attack the the enemy trench, and just to protect the soldiers that were getting injured and stuff. This is the company HQ dugout. So under here is basically this whole place was made of concrete. Soldiers would be down here and they would be sleeping or sitting down and talking. And resting. So over here is a long trench, and it would lead up to the communication trench. So this is where the front of the trench and the back of the trench, both of them had generals. So what would happen is those two generals would meet up here and communicate about plans, orders, and strategies. Above them was a little roof with sandbags on them. It was used to protect the generals so they wouldn't be able to get shot while they were in there. Over here is the frontline trench. So this is basically where soldiers were able to use a long row of basically elevated trench, so they'd be able to shoot over it, and it would be like the first defense. They'd be able to throw grenades at the enemy army, and basically be able to shoot down and give a long row bullets. So over here is the forward listening post. So this was used as a little place a soldier or someone in the army would be able to hear the enemy trench. So if they heard that they were going to attack, he would immediately ring the bell, and that will alert everyone, and they will all get ready to fight. And this person right here would grab his weapon, run down here, jump up here, and then start to fire. So up here is a bridge, and basically it was used to get from behind the trench to get to the one and only no man's land. So this was a place where basically it was just a death zone. Nothing could survive, not even the trees. There would be dead bodies all around with blood next to them, craters with skulls in them, and yeah, basically this was it was basically just a dead zone. It was in between both of the trenches, and if you went in there, you most likely would die. So this is my trench. And I am really proud of it. Here's my trench from an overhead view. It's pretty nice. And I hope you liked my trench. Thank you.